We're going to take a look at Photoshop's auto correction commands. There's 3 of them. We have auto tone, auto contrast, and auto color. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply each of these auto correction commands to the same image to see the impact that each of these commands has on the same photograph. So give me a moment here. I'm going to go after one of our work files. Inside our work files folder, we have a file called view.jpg. Go ahead and grab this guy, or you can use one of your own images as well if you want. So here's the image I'm going to use for this exercise, and as you can see, it's a pretty nice photograph. I like the composition; it's nice, but it's a little, it's a little washed out. It could maybe be a little bit better in terms of its contrast and so on. So here's what I'm going to do. Give me a moment here. I'm going to hit the Tab key on my keyboard just to turn everything off on my screen, my toolbox and my panels. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this image 2 more times. So we're going to have 3 copies of this image open on screen. There's a neat command underneath the image menu, duplicate. Go ahead and choose that guy. And I'm just going to click on OK. And now we have a new document tab open. So there's 2, and I'm going to go image and then down to duplicate, and there's going to be 3. Now, 3 copies. Now, I want to see all these guys on screen at the same time, so give me a moment here. I'm just going to go Window, and then down to Arrange, and I'm going to go 3 up stacked, just like this. There we go. Okay, so maybe I'll just do a little bit of repositioning on screen just so we can sort of see the same areas of the image there. Okay, so we have 3 copies of the same photo. We have 3 auto commands. So let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to start off with this guy on the left. So make sure you click once or twice inside this image window to target him. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the first auto command, the auto command that we saw in the previous exercise with our little experiment, which was auto tone. So what I want to know is, what is auto tone actually doing? So I'm going to head up to the image menu and then down to auto tone. And as you can see, of course, there's no dialog box, there's no settings, nothing like that. It simply applies it to the image, and right away we see a change there. Now, what's neat here inside Photoshop is we have, officially anyway, 1 level of undo, so I can hit Control or Command Z on my keyboard repeatedly to get a before and after, right? So this is not involving history states or anything like that. I'm just undoing, redoing, right? So I can see the difference there inside my image. What is auto tone actually doing? Well, as we saw in the previous exercise, it is shifting the darkest areas of the image to pure black and the lighter areas of the image to pure white, and it's taking the pixels in the middle and averaging them out. So in other words, it's taking the shadows and making them darker, and Autotone is taking the highlights and making them lighter, and then balancing everything else out inside the, or across the color spectrum inside the photograph. So it's adjusting the black, white, and mid-tone points inside the image, but it's doing it on a channel-by-channel basis. We were introduced to channels not too long ago, so every single channel, color channel inside the image is being impacted. So in other words, each channel inside the image has its black, white, and midpoints readjusted. Okay? So contrast is going to be increased. And the one thing that we do want to watch out for with Autotone is sometimes a color cast is introduced, or sometimes a color cast is even removed. Okay? All right, let's try the next guy, which is Auto Contrast. So I'm going to go to the top right, this guy right here. Single click once or twice inside this guy to target that image now. And then I'm going to go Image and then down to Auto Contrast. Once again, I can use Control or Command Z on my keyboard to get a before and an after, and I barely see a change inside that image. Just very, very subtle. Now, what Auto Contrast is going to do is he's going to adjust the black, white, and mid-tone points, but he doesn't do it on a channel-by-channel basis. It's just across the entire image. And he's not going to remove or introduce a color cast either. All right, so this guy here is our auto contrast. Let's try auto color. This is going to be down in the bottom right corner. Okay, grab that guy and then back to image and then back down to auto color, and let's see what we get there. All right, now right away you can see a color cast, right? I don't know if you caught that or not. Again, Control or Command Z on your keyboard to get the before and the after there. So what happens here is, once again, the lightest point is set to white, the darkest point is set to black, so that black point and white point. The mid-tone is set to 50% as well, okay, so it's averaged out, but again, not on a channel-by-channel basis like the auto tone. And as you can see here as well, it can very well result in a color cast. Now I have to stress here too, it's neat that we've applied these 3 auto tone commands to the same image so you can see the impact here, but every image is different, of course, right? So there's no one size fits all. You're going to have to experiment. I want to run you through some additional color correction settings that we have. I want to introduce you to brightness contrast, and I want to dig into something called levels and histograms and all that great stuff. And then we will revisit the auto correction settings, as I say, in just a little while. And I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the autocorrect settings. Again, this is sort of the first stop when you open up your image inside Photoshop, so I hope you enjoyed. All right, next up we have brightness contrast. Let's go and check it out.